Payamanaya, Kayas, Nokumpan, Noktawi Mana. We had Smutomanaya, Higia, Nigan Manito Gaya. Kayas is Amina. I guess in a way to translate it, once upon time there was a time.
Chaos, a long time ago. Chaos.
Our brother Weesageechak, and even though he went hunting, he couldn't find a way to get some game so he would feed himself.
No tegadeo. He is very hungry. No tegadeo.
Weesageechak, he was hungry, and then he was walking by this lake, and he looked beside, and he looked at the lake, and he could see. Oh, there are so many ducks and geese, and they were just fat, and you're looking there, and then you're just drooling. Oh boy, every time he jumped in the water to try and get the ducks and the geese, they would just fly up and fly away.
I will pull. He rested. I will pull.
So he rested there in a little hut, and he put out into the and he said what he was feeling. He said, "I am hungry. I have nothing to eat. What is there that can help me? That can help me find a way to have some food." And so he went to bed. And overnight, he must have had a dream, because in the morning he got up and he looked around, and there's like a real purpose in his eyes. So he started building a lodge.
Miko up. TP. Miko up.
And all the ducks and the geese, they were looking at him, and they were asking each other, "Look at their brother Weesageechak. What is he doing?" And they were all looking there, they looking like that, and they said, "Oh, he's building a teepee. He's building a big lodge." So all the ducks, they were just curious. What is our brother doing? What is he doing? Go ask our brother, what is he doing?
No te skitam. They were curious. No te skitam.
And all the ducks, they were close to the shore. They were all sitting there watching him. And finally, one of them got up and said, "Okay, I'll run over." One of the fastest ones, who could fly up right away just in case Weesageechak was going to try and grab him so he could eat him.
Sisip. Duck. Sisip.
So he said, "Hey, brother, what are you doing? All the other ducks and geese, they want to ask me to come and ask you, what are you doing? How come you're building this lodge?" But, Weesageechak, he just went about his business, as if he didn't even see him or heard what that young duck was asking him. He just kept on working. And finally, the young duck, he couldn't get anything out of Weesageechak. He went back and told all the others. He said, "He won't talk to me. He won't listen to me." And so they watched there for a while. They could see Weesageechak. He began to cover a big teepee with skins and canvas. And so Weesageechak, he walked into the bush and he'd come back with all kinds of wood. And after a while, they could see a big pile of wood outside, and Weesageechak was breaking them on his knees and making them into small firewood. And then you go inside, and then after a while, they could see smoke coming out of the teepee.
Kaskapateo. The smoke is going up. Kaskapateo.
So when they saw the smoke coming out of the teepee, so all the ducks and geese, now they're just curious. Well, what's our brother doing? So they just forgot all about the fear of being eaten. So they all got up on the shore, and they went and they blocked Weesageechak's way, and they said, and they demanded to know, "Brother, tell us what you're doing. We want to know." So Weesageechak had to stop and say, all right. I am making a closed-eye dance. And then all the ducks and the geese, oh, we've never heard of that. A closed-eyed dance. Yep. Can we come? I don't know. Weesageechak said, if you know how to dance, yes, you can. But if you don't know, I don't think I can invite you. Said, we'll learn. Just tell us what to do. Just tell us. We promise we'll do whatever you say that, whatever you want us to do, we promise we'll do it. And Weesageechak looked at them and said, sure. He said, I don't know. You guys have fooled me lots of times. I don't know if I can believe you. And all the ducks, they looked at Weesageechak and said, brother, you got to believe us because we want to know what it is that you're doing. We want to know how to dance this closed-eye dance.
Oste samau, brother. Oste samau.
All the ducks and geese, they promised, we'll do what you say. And Weesageechak, okay, you got to close your eyes. I'm going to go inside. And when this fire is nice and hot, and when you hear me singing, I want you to come inside this little doorway here. Just bend in there and go inside. And then just you'll feel the fire and just dance around the fire. And when you get up to where I'm at, when I'm singing, I'll tell you what to do there. So all the ducks and the geese, they all lined up, made a great big line. Weesageechak went inside, and then he started singing, and so all the ducks and the geese, they were just dancing like this.
Nimitowak. They dance together. Nimitowak.
They're just feeling good, and then as they were coming by, Weesageechak, while he's singing away, he would reach over and grab him by the neck and twist him, put him on the ground beside him.
Nikamawak. Singing. Nikamawak.
And after doing this for a long time, pretty soon he had a great big pile of geese and ducks. In that line, there was a little duck. I was one of the most beautiful ducks there was. But this little duck was cheating, He came in dancing with just one eye open like this,
Payak miskisik. One eye. Payak miskisik.
He had his hands hanging on to the feathers of the other ducks and the geese, and he was dancing in there, and he had his eyes closed on one side, but he had his eye open on the other side. So Weesageechak couldn't see him. All he saw was his closed eye on this side here. And as he went inside and danced, and all of a sudden he saw right across what brother was doing as he was twisting the necks of the geese and piling them up really high to eat later. And he screamed out, "Hey, brothers, sisters, look, open your eyes. Look what our brother is doing. He's killing us all." And all the ducks and the geese, they stopped, they opened their eyes, and they saw this huge pile of their brothers and sisters.
Tokapi. Open your eyes. Tokapi.
So Weesageechak was found out, and he looked and he saw this. You! And he jumped up and he was going to grab that little duck.
Mikawup. Discovered. Mikawup.
And he tripped and he fell, and as he was going to grab that little duck, and he pushed that little duck into the mud. But the little duck still jumped up and ran out and took off, and he got away. But as Weesageechak was looking, he could see all the mud that was covered all the beautiful feathers of that little duck. And Weesageechak, from now on, you will never have those beautiful feathers. Your feathers will look like mud. That's where the mud hen comes from.
Chakik. Mud hen. Chakik.
Because that was a law that was decreed by our brother Weesageechak, that nobody wants to eat the mud hen, because of what he did to Weesageechak, to, tell on him about that, about capturing all the food that he needed to eat. So excellent.